Hey, welcome to Republican Politics. We're going to talk about the 2016 presidential elections. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about a little bit of disclosure. Who is this guy, Jorge Sanchez? So I am an American first of all, right? So my birth certificate is from the United States. So that's fantastic. Number two is that I am a father of two kids. They're awesome. I've been married to one wife for the past almost 7 years, and I'm here in Texas. I have been Republican since I was a young baby. Well, not really. I've been Republican since I was probably like 18, but I've never been anything else. And so today we're going to talk about the 2016 presidential election. Boy, it's depressing. I'm going to tell you a few things, because the reason why it's depressing is because we don't have a single person who is fantastic. We have Donald Trump, who is like, I don't know, like at worst, he's like a racist. At best, he's like just like a really rude guy, like your uncle who's, who shouldn't say stuff at Thanksgiving, but he says stuff embarrassing all the time. And then you got like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is like, she's kind of like a crook. She gets away with stuff. She's got like 9 lives politically. She always gets forgiven with stuff. And she's going to, she wants to run for president. Oh, but by the way, there is actually a guy named Gary Johnson. Who the heck is Gary Johnson? So this guy is a libertarian. We'll talk about him shortly. All right. In summary, let's talk about Hillary Clinton first, because they talk a lot about Donald Trump already. So let's talk about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, she's, in summary, I think she's like well-intending, and she's just kind of like negligent, not criminal. I mean, she's got the Benghazi thing, right? So, 4 American people died under her watch.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
And so there was a lot of negligence, but she probably wasn't a criminal, right? So the other thing was that her email scandal, right? So she had a server in her basement that was purposefully put there, and she used that for secret stuff, and she deleted a bunch of emails, and who knows what those emails were.
What, like with a cloth or something? Well, no.
I mean, she was trying to cover things up and do things in secret, and so why? And so she says, her response was like, oh, sorry, I made a mistake, I wouldn't do that.
I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
And if I had to do it over again, I would obviously do it differently. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that.
But, I guess like if I were, kind of like her guider, I'd be like, I would ask her, what went through your mind when you did that? Like, why would you get your own server and send like very like dangerous emails that maybe terrorists could attack into and get secret information from the federal government that like you shouldn't be doing that? She's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But why would you do that to begin with? That's the question I ask you, Hillary Clinton. Why did you do that? And rather just saying, I'm sorry. So that's her. Donald Trump, he's got his like, I don't know. I mean, where do you start with the guy? I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff he says that are just like, I don't know. I mean, kind of like not nice. Okay, he's a not nice guy. And so, well, he's not an angel, but okay, that's fine. But, so if you want to kick out like all these, here's the first thing, first of all. He wants to kick out a bunch of illegal immigrants.
Anyone who has entered the United States illegally is subject to deportation.
And he wants to be able to build this big wall to protect us here in America. And so, I was like, okay, where are you gonna get the money to pay for it? The president of the United States says he's not gonna do that already. And so you want to tax tariffs on, there's not enough money on the tariff system to be able to pay for that kind of stuff.
We will build a great wall along the southern border. And Mexico will pay for the wall. They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay for the wall.
Right? So they're not a big government. And if you're going to like throw them deeper into recession, you think we had a recession. Mexico has been like in this prolonged depression since its like conception, and you want to make it even worse for them. You think that's going to solve problems. So anyway, so that's his solution. A lot of like emotional stuff, right? And the other thing that he wants to do, what else does he want to do? He wants to like, this whole trade deficit thing with China. So he wants to like place tariffs on products that Americans buy because we choose to buy them. right? And so this is going to make it more expensive in hopes that maybe it's going to produce more jobs. Okay, we have jobs, that's fantastic, but now we can't buy anything, okay? Because now that everything's made in America, things are expensive. I'm glad I have a salary, but now I can't buy stuff anymore. So, it's kind of up to you guys as Americans what you want for that. Let's see, what are the things that he's known for? All right, so he builds he takes these companies so he builds hotels, he builds casinos, he builds golf courses, and he's known for actually taking like really risky things, like a casino that everybody knows it's not wise to make a huge casino because you can't make the amount of money that you can for that.
A $1 billion building built on borrowed money, junk bonds, with the whopping interest rate of 14%. Trump was now $1.4 billion in debt on his casinos alone.
So from the very first, the Taj Mahal was an ugly child, ill-conceived, without a central plan, without a clear idea of where it was going. He was destined to fail. In a town where, for the last 10 years, no casino with 60,000 square foot has ever been fully utilized, on what basis would someone build one with 120,000 feet?
These loan companies say that, hey, you have a risky business. I'll go ahead and give you this risky business. I'm going to give you this money for a really high interest rate. Donald Trump says, I'll take your money. And in fact, I'm going to not only take your money, once I have your money, I'm going to file bankruptcy just so that I can get a better rate. And I knew I was going to throw this company into bankruptcy from the beginning so that I could, and it's all legal.
On 4 occasions, I've taken advantage of the laws of this country, like other people. I'm not going to name their names because I'm not going to embarrass, but virtually every person that you read about on the front page of the business section.
And so everybody says, well, that's a business for you. And I don't know. I mean, there's business can be done different ways. There's like shady business, and then there's like honest business. Donald Trump has decided to do things in the shady way, and he says that that's the kind of line of thinking we need in this country. We need a leader who's going to have this line of thinking of being able to say that I'm going to go into this deal knowing it's a bad deal. I'll throw it into bankruptcy so I can get a better deal because it's legal, and that's what you need as a president. So, and that's how he's made a lot. He's kind of stiffed people over and over again. And so he says, oh, these bank guys, they're like, they're not nice either, by the way. They're like, all these bad people.
First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. These are not the nice, sweet little people that you think, okay?
And that somehow makes it all right. Is that make it okay? Is that make it good that you decide to be able to take this risky idea as a business thing and then throw it into bankruptcy because they're not nice? I don't know. I mean, I just think that's just not necessarily the right thing to do. So anyway, but there's this guy named Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson, who, I don't know, I mean, he's like vanilla, he's not really exciting, there's nothing really sexy, cool about the guy. I mean, he's just blah, he's not presidential, but I don't know, at this point, I think I'm not really into presidential. I kind of wanted somebody who's maybe a little bit safe, who's not going to throw our country into war or bankruptcy, and who's going to actually be honest, and who's not going to do corrupt stuff, So the guy's from New Mexico, he's a governor, he's a libertarian, meaning the libertarians basically says that, you don't cause harm to me, I don't cause harm to you, and then, we're okay. But as soon as you cause harm to me, then that's where we get into a law. So the libertarians basically says that laws are meant to protect one person from harming another person. So if they're not harming you, then let them be. So so Gary Johnson will say that he is fiscally conservative, but yet socially liberal.
Libertarians are fiscally responsible and socially liberal.
So let's talk about the socially liberal part. So what he means by that is that so for example, gay marriage, right? So gay marriage, they're getting married, they're not causing harm to you, they're not robbing you, killing you, they're not shooting at you. So let them be. There should, let them be married, because what's the harm in cause? If you're offended by that, you have freedom to be offended. but there shouldn't be a law to prevent these people from getting married. Number 2 is going to be marijuana. So the guy actually owned a marijuana company. He kind of sold it, and so but it kind of goes towards like how he really believed this way towards marijuana and really kind of probably drugs in general, saying that if somebody is not being violent, they're just smoking marijuana on their couch, and so why would you throw them in jail because they're smoking marijuana? I mean, they're not causing harm to anybody, they're not hurting anybody. They're like, well, they could, so that's why we're throwing them in jail. I was like, well, the libertarians don't really buy that, and so the moment they actually cause harm to somebody is the moment they get thrown in jail. And so that's how he believes towards really most drugs, most specifically marijuana, and probably he thinks that about other drugs as well. And so, all right, how about the pro-choice and the, pro-life thing? So, like, the guy says that, like, hey, they're not harming anybody, so let them be let them choose their own, women's rights, right? And so, which I kind of like, I think it's complicated. I totally understand. I'm actually pro-life, meaning that I think that life supersedes choice, in my opinion. And so, so Gary Johnson doesn't agree with that, and he basically says, well, you're never going to convince me otherwise. We're just agree to disagree is kind of basically what he says on it. I've read, though, that he does want the states to kind of decide for themselves, states' rights and that kind of thing. So I don't know where he really lands on that. I've heard him say that he personally believes in the woman's choice, so who knows? So those are the candidates. Who am I supporting? It's kind of like asking me, do you want to vote for Stalin or do you want to vote for Hitler? And I'd say, you know what? I want to vote for Scooby-Doo. I mean, the guy, it's like, yeah, he's not that reputable, but he's not bad, and so that's probably the guy I'll probably look at. Maybe constitutionalists upcoming. I'll talk about those guys. Those sound maybe interesting, but that's where I'm at. So anyway, you guys, just good luck with it all. I don't know what to tell you. Pray and ask God to help you. That's kind of basically where it is. Look, I do encourage you to go do the research. Go into Wikipedia. That's where I got a lot of my stuff. And so try to take an effort and at least just vote. Come on. It's like for free, and so at least give that a try. All right, so I'll see you guys next time.